Hey everyone, Retro Tech Dad here with a quick video. I wanted to talk about some exciting developments for the Win600. Work is underway on getting JELOS running for the Win600 and there is a beta release available for download. If you're not aware, JELOS, or Just Enough Linux Operating System, is a simple Linux distribution for handhelds. Personally, I love using this distribution and I have it installed on some other devices like my RG552 here. So I figured while I wait for my battery testing to conclude on the Retroid Pocket 3, which by the way will have a complete in-depth look over here on the channel soon, I decided I could play around with JELOS on the Win600 while I wait for that to finish. Now this is still very early on in development and I advise to wait a little before completely making the switch over from something like Batocera or installing this on your Win600 as it will wipe the SSD drive. However, knowing that, and if you are interested in messing around with JELOS on the Win600, then you can get the beta releases over here, which I have linked down below. So this is not necessarily meant to be an installation tutorial, but I will run through some of the setup process and then quickly show you what JELOS is like running on the Win600 so far and what it brings to the table for those of us wanting a nice dedicated front end for emulation. So you will of course need your Win600 for this, a USB drive to flash the JELOS image, and a computer. I'll be doing this over on my Windows desktop and getting everything prepared over there. With the image downloaded, I will use something like Win32 Disk Imager to flash my USB drive. Point to the directory where you have extracted the image file and then make sure you select the correct drive. Once you have done that, hit right and let it do its thing. You will most likely get prompts saying that Windows needs to format. Just ignore that and continue on. Once it's done, unmount your drive and head over to the Win600. You will want to hold down the volume up and power button at the same time until the device powers on to get the boot selection screen. With that screen, you will want to navigate over to the flash drive with JELOS on it. You will receive a warning that the installer will run after 5 seconds. After that, let the device do its thing for a bit and you should get to the JELOS screen. Just a heads up, I had to interrupt the 5-second countdown and use a keyboard to specifically tell the installer to run. Again, this is still very early in beta and work will continue to be done. Okay, so here is JELOS running on the Win600. As you can see, there isn't a lot here yet as we need to go and add our games. Something I'm very excited about with this is the ability to adjust the TDP within JELOS as a system-wide or per console configuration, ranging in 2-watt increments from 2 watts all the way up to 18 watts. Now I can confirm that NES runs great at 2 watts, which should get us over that 3-hour mark on this device. If you recall from my PS2 Batocera video, I did a 5-watt TDP test and got 3 hours with Yoshi's Island. Okay, so let's get the Win600 connected to my Wi-Fi so we can easily copy over games from my desktop over SSH. Now there are other ways to do this, but I will be using FileZilla over SSH to copy my games. The JELOS website provides the username, which is root, and the password is generated randomly on boot, which can be disabled. Once you have your username and password, we can head over to FileZilla and under hostname input the IP address of the Win600, your username and password, and port 22 for SSH. Hit quick connect, and boom, we're in our device. So under storage, you have access to the BIOS and ROMs folder, which you will need to add files as necessary depending on the console you will be playing. So you can see all of the pre-populated ROM directories are here all the way up to the Wii. Now PS2 will be added in a future release, and as I demonstrated in my PS2 Batocera video, the results in a Linux-based distro with low overhead is quite good. So here I have Yoshi's Island chilling on my desktop for easy access, and it's as simple as copying it over to the SNES ROM directory. Okay, so I've added a couple other games in the background, and here we are back on JELOS. So let's quickly take a look at the scraping ability. Okay, so you can see that our Sega Rally Championship does not have any art. So I like to have the 2D box arts, and all you have to do is press start, head down to Scraper, choose 2D box art for the image source, hit next, and it will automatically start populating the art. Now press start and update the game list, and there you go. Okay, so let's test the game. Here's one of my favorites, Pepsi Man on the PlayStation 1. And as you can see, everything is running great, no issues. Another great thing is that the standby mode works really well. So a quick press of the power button and the device will go into standby, and then press it again to bring it right back. For a handheld device, this is going to be very useful. Finally, here is Super Mario World 3 on NES running at 2 watts with no issues. So the 2 watts setting is going to be great when you absolutely want to squeeze as much battery life out of this device. Now our grandpappy over on the usual Discord channels has said that he has plans for fan control in a future build, which means that we should be able to run light emulation like NES passively cooled and get an additional battery life boost. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at JELOS, and I'm very excited to keep following its progress. The community as always provides such great options for us gamers and really helps devices like this in an enormous way. So please thank everyone involved with JELOS for their hard work and give them some support. I'm Rob, the Retro Tech Dad, and thank you so much for watching.